I don't have a single idea for a topic to really lay into. I'm not gonna sit here and lie, because the day has been started, well, at least when it comes down to content, very slow for me, and it's not necessarily something that I like to do, you know, making videos that is like super late in the day. I like to get it done as early as I can, but life's like to be like, you know what? We ain't having this, and that's essentially how life is for me. But when it comes down to it though, I don't really know what this is. This is gonna be either, you know, a bit of rambling over nonsense, or this is just gonna be about talking about life, which I'm pretty sure that's what this whole video is going to be. Not gonna say you're live, which I have talked to somebody in the Discord server before, which is still crazy that we have a Discord server. If you haven't joined up, I think the link is still fine at this point. It's 7 days, I'm pretty sure. So when it comes down to it, maybe it's still good. If not, then, you know, we'll wait till a bit later to open up the server again. But when it comes down to it though, they was basically saying, you know, they like it when I do like the life talking sort of videos. Don't know why, but when it comes down to it, I kind of don't like doing these videos because oftentimes it leads into a bunch of nonsense, and then kind of basically it's just not what I'm really like to make when it comes down to it. But at the same time, I guess I could also kind of view this as like a diary sort of thing, right? Like having like an online diary that basically everybody can see. The only problem with these sort of videos half the time is sometimes I don't know what thumbnail I'm gonna make with these, or what would I put there. But we'll figure it out as time goes on. I'm leaning towards something more Tanya related, so you might see that. But when it comes down to it though, hi! How are you guys? Ah man, I don't really know what to really ramble about, so I guess I'll start off with, first of all, the Discord server has been excellent. There's been an excellent wave of people to come through, nice dialogues with a lot of you guys, and honestly, I feel more at home in a server than I do on Twitter now, which is crazy because usually I would not hesitate to spam posting nonsense on Twitter and, you know, be just looking around, seeing what's there and all that sort of stuff. But, you know, after losing so many accounts, it's kind of like I don't really care. The only reason why I'm even there, or at least what it feels like now, is just to keep up with the news of what's going on with censorship and stuff like that. And that's basically about it. Like, high key, I don't really care too much about anything else that is kind of like going on, unless I see like maybe like a cool artist that maybe I want to in the future probably talk about, which that's another BS thing, is that, you know, with that loss of that account, I don't really have a lot of the artist's information that I was following, which is a bit sad, but you know, that just unfortunately how it is, and it's a bit shit, so you know, it sucks overall. But anyway, the Discord server has been, again, amazing. A lot of different types of conversations, things regarding Lolly. Had to, unfortunately, because Discord is terrible, had to remove, you know, whatever a good Lolly content was being posted, because obviously Discord don't like lollies, which is a bit shit, but at the same time, it has to be done. And again, if there was any way I could leave it there and just let it sit there for a good minute, I would. I don't care. You think I ain't wanting to see any type of Anya ass because that was what being posted? Hell yeah, I'm trying to see Anya ass. That being said, you know, Discord being Discord, the last thing I want to see is the server get shut down over whatever weird nonsense. So, you know, that's obviously one thing that needs to be just straight up avoided at all costs, because it's the most fun I had talking with people in literal years. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. It's been nice to have in-depth dialogues and, you know, seeing what people usually would like to talk about and see what they have to say and stuff like that. It's been the most fun I've had in a long time. Can I be real? That sounds sad as hell, and I don't blame you, because it is, but it's the most fun I had in a long time, if I'm being honest, right? And hopefully the next time I open up the server again, whenever this link goes away, hopefully, you know, it will have a bit more people to come through and have a lot more different conversations and stuff like that. And just again, have a chill community to just kind of relax and just be there to yap about, you know, and just yap with, because it's just a nice time. I also kind of forget that, you know, the server is, you know, basically for the channel, for us. And I sometimes forget, I'm not gonna lie, how, I guess, when I respond to things that, I guess it holds weight because I'm so not used to that in terms of other people talking and stuff like that. Because usually when a conversation goes down, I'm not really like a focus of attention, or usually people would like pass me by when it comes down to it. But there's been instances where people have said like, "Oh, the king has spoken," or the Chad has returned, or something like that, and I'm just like, wait, wait, what? It's such a minor thing. It's such a small thing. It's kind of like, when a bigger content creator acknowledges you, that your existence, that you exist at some point, whether it's through a comment on Twitter or something like that. It's just so weird and just different, and it makes you feel kind of special a little bit. And it's a weird but good feeling, I guess I could say, right? So it just makes you feel like that, oh, there is a place for you, or there is something when it comes down to it for you, right? And it's just nice every single time that I do see it. And so I don't want to take that type of thing for granted. So it's just nice. And I guess in a very weird way, I don't know, but it's just been a fun time there for sure, right? It definitely has been a fun time, and there's going to be a lot more things that's going to go on as that server continues to exist. So best believe it's just going to be great as time goes on. So that's one major thing I do like to preference, that the server is great. If you haven't joined in, hopefully the next time when the server awakens back up, then at least for everybody to kind of get back into, then we'll probably see how that will go. Probably will open up that server again, or at least do another invite link again, maybe near Nod Cry's release for Genshin, maybe near that point in time. We'll see, but it could be earlier than that, I don't know, but we'll definitely see, because again, we have like over 100, maybe like 104 members, maybe 107 at this point. And it's just nice again to see all of you guys in one place. We get to talk and yap about whatever the hell, and it's just a nice time. And in those conversations, I guess I've been able to speak a bit more freely, and hopefully to kind of lay down whatever points that need to be laid down a bit more easier than I can in the video. Because in a video, it's just basically me talking into the phone and kind of just recording my thoughts when it comes down to it, right? It's just like a very much one-sided conversation. Like, I'm the drunk ass, and basically you're speaking about string theory, and I don't know what the hell is going on, and basically it's like brick wall kind of sort of communication, and the only communication that we have is in the comments. But even the comments itself doesn't really feel like it's a place where we can just straight up yap and go as hard as we as we want to, or say what we really would like to when it comes down to it. And that's a good thing about the Discord thing. Also, kind of is a little bit more so, like, I guess for a content creator, you have to be careful when it comes down to it, because that comfortability could also lead you saying something a bit stupid and possibly cancel you. So that just also, I feel like people that is content creators would have to worry about, because how many times have we seen Google Docies and essentially they're coming out and it's usually from a Discord where somebody says something they probably shouldn't have. It just be ultimately GG's at that point. It really is. So again, it's comfortable, but definitely got to be careful with what you say. Still, I be trying to pay attention, make sure I don't say anything crazy, right? Granted, I ain't got nothing to be hiding or ashamed about, but still, nonetheless, it just is what it is, because you don't want to be another Google Doc person. So that's just how that goes. And I guess maybe like one other thing I guess I could talk about too is I very much enjoy the community that we have, for sure, because it just, I guess the server also reminds me that there is definitely a lot of care for each other and how we kind of go about certain things too. And I can definitely feel that when it comes to me, because last night basically I guess, I don't know, I forgot how we got on this topic, but basically I think someone asked, like, I guess, about my living situation and, finances and things like that, and how I actually operate. And, obviously I've been candid as much as I possibly can in these videos to explain everything that I can. But I went so far to, explain a bit further about different things and stuff like that. Like, oh, are you still working with your dad? I'm like, nah. And, I kind of stopped working in June because of, things like obviously health issues that my father's father died off of, working the same sort of thing. My father is going through that same health issue, and I don't want to be a part of that same line of, people in my family going through that very same thing. So, there's that. There's also like the whole conversation where, in June, which I don't think I really said, but in June, my mom had to go through like surgery to get rid of some type of infected tooth, and that was a lot of money to cover because she don't have insurance and stuff like that. So that was rough to kind of deal with, and kind of just yapped about that a little bit, and just really going down the pipeline of just a lot of stuff that's been going on. And again, just to make sure that I'm absolutely clear, and to really just full send the point home, when I do ask for things of health and things of that nature, Kofi and all that sort of stuff, I'm not asking for it just because, oh, I'm just trying to, get money, or trying to essentially gain it through some bullshit sort of means or anything like that. When I say or ask about that sort of thing, I say and ask that sort of thing because we legit do need it, right? Especially, again, this month when it comes down to it, of all months, because there's a lot to really kind of go over and trying to cover, because a lot of stuff, right? Because obviously regular utilities and things like, insurance, house insurance, as far as we can get that paid. There's still the mortgage that's still up above the house that still is annoying to deal with, which haven't really been promoting to GoFundMe a lot, so I need to kind of do that at some point in time. There's also like, like what was the insurance that was? There's another insurance. I can't think of what it was. I think it was like something else, but that's really annoying too. There's also like, regular utilities be costing way too damn much, but it's literally, and it's really the AC, but it's literally so damn hot in the damn South. Can I be real? And somebody had this conversation in the server too. It's so damn hot in the South, high key. Like if I could sit in the heat and not run the air condition, I wouldn't. But high key, that's just how it is, unfortunately, and there's not really much I can sit here and do. So there's that issue. Hell, somebody I believe even said too, they were asking like, so how do you like spend money when it comes to games and stuff? Like, what do you get to spend any money on games and stuff like that? And I told the truth. I was just like, no, I don't really get to spend money on anything. At most, if anything, and if this is just how it is, and I got the chance to do it, maybe one game a year. Maybe one new game a year, and that's basically it, right? I don't really get much of anything for myself. If anything, anytime I do get money, even when it comes down to things like YouTube, because I don't get paid every month, essentially, and when I do, it's only like 100 or maybe just a tiny bit more after that 100, but it's not really anything substantial, right? And then anything that I do get, it's usually just sent off to, my mother, so she can help pay the bill, however the bills get paid and all that sort of stuff. And that's literally it. That's literally where all that money goes to. Anything extra I do get is usually held up until some emergency happens, because that's just the shenanigan of our household. It's literally just some random ass event coming through, whether it's gas for the car, whether it's, gas for the mower, stuff like that, whether it's some other random ass event that loves to happen in this house for some reason, I don't know. But it's like I never really get to hold on for money for too dang long, even when it comes down to something like the laptop. Like, sure, I still have, 300 for it, but I don't really, have anything else when it comes down to that, of how to figure that whole problem out and stuff like that. It's just a lot. It genuinely just is a lot, and hopefully I made that understandably clear in the Discord server, and I would like to imagine hopefully I made that clear just in general in videos and stuff like that anytime I said something. But it's just a lot. And I know I'm not the only person that's going through it either. I know a lot of you guys also go through it too. Like, a lot of you guys definitely do not F with your current living situations. And I clearly can see that, obviously. But, you know, I wouldn't be asking for help if I didn't need it, right? Because very much, again, if that was the case, I would be giving back, or at least trying to do something with you guys or for you guys or something like that. Give away game like cards, or like gift cards, whatever the hell, however the hell I go about it, and all that sort of stuff too. Like, that's just how it is, right? And ultimately, it just, again, it's just not a good position that I'm just in. That's why I wish this channel was a bit bigger, or had something else going on when it comes down to gaining more people. Because if we had more people, we wouldn't be in the constant position of just asking for shit constantly, or just needing help, when I could provide the help for some other people, right? I know you can't help everyone, because that's just an impossibility, and it's just something that not everybody is going to do the right thing on. But I would help as many people as I could that I believe would do the right thing among themselves, and stuff like that too. So it just, again, a very annoying, difficult, and tiring situation that has been over us for like so many years at this point. Again, it's just something that's very much is ridiculous, and there ain't really no other way to describe it, high key. And that's just how it is. You know, I don't like talking about money, don't like really bringing it up every 5 minutes, because that's all I really effing hear when it comes down to it in my real life. But it's just a thing that definitely is needed, and it's not really many options or opportunities to go out and go get it, right? Because really, it doesn't matter. It seems like don't matter how many times I do, you know, try to find a job or anything like that, it's for some reason just not getting hired. And then at the very same time, you know, working with my father, while it does bring something, it's not necessarily enough to cover everything. And then I'm basically the only person in the house that's doing something, which is a bit unfortunate, because two people is also kind of having health issues and they literally can't do anything. So it's a lot. It's obviously like very much a lot, and I don't really need any more nonsense to come through in my life at this current moment in time. So, you know, it's just a pain, and it's a lot. Been trying to find sponsors as well. It just can't find none for whatever reason. It probably would find somebody if I was streaming, but I don't have a space for that, so that's a whole nother thing. It's just a lot, right? It's very much a lot that goes down with it, and that's a lot of the reason why I feel like giving up this is just not a possible thing right now, right? Which, granted, I wouldn't give this up anyway, but it's just like, it's just a lot, you know? And like I said before, I don't want to lie. I don't want to be, I don't know, making shit up or doing anything that, you know, I shouldn't be doing when it comes down to it. Because ultimately, things are just rough. And they've been rough for this, at least for this channel's sake, that as far as you've known, it's been rough for basically almost 6 years at this point. It's not been a good turn, right? And I've been trying to focus on making, or at least been thinking recently, trying to focus on content that I would want to watch somebody to make, or content I would want to see myself. But I'm also slightly terrified to make content like that, because I don't know if it's going to be something that people view or people will care about or anything like that, even though I probably should just rip the trigger, slap some ass like it's Ramathal, and call it a damn day. But I just don't know. I just don't know. A lot of this is just a lot of I don't knows and all that sort of stuff, and just hopefully I'm making the right call on the video, I'm making the right decision. Because a lot of times when a video doesn't do well, or doesn't reach like thousands, or, you know, just, you know, not necessarily hitting the number I need it to, it does make me feel annoyed, because it's like, damn, I should probably came up with something else. But, you know, that's just how it is, and that's not really, you know, something I can prevent myself from feeling, right? Like, videos like these, I'm not really going to be surprised if it doesn't do well or anything like that, because, you know, these are rants and rambles and talks about life and stuff like that. But ultimately, it is just a nonsensical time when it comes down to it. A lot of it has been. And truthfully, again, this is like the only times where I really get to say what I really want to say. Really feel like, what I can say here actually holds some weight and no one's trying to interject or say another thing and stuff like that. Because sometimes you just don't want to hear other people's answers, or at least when they do give you answers, it's never really an answer that solves the full problem, and it's just annoying all the dang time, and it's just not great. So there's very much that when it comes down to it too. Really, I guess all I can really say is that I just try to continue to have hope that this channel can actually mean something to me and mean something to somebody else, and be a symbol at some point in time to be like, hey, if this jackass from the South somehow managed to pull out, so much content and viewership and stuff like that, then maybe I can give something a go. Because that's basically what this whole damn thing is relying on. Call me the Green Lantern, because this bitch relies on willpower. That's essentially what this is. And at this point, it's like the only thing I got left. It's the only thing I got left moving around in my life when it comes down to it, because I don't really see another better opportunity or way out of this, right? And that's just ultimately how it is. And with the internet being a weird, wacky place and a lot of different things going on, it's getting more creepier and crazier and scarier by the day. I can only just hope that something good will happen for me and us and just everything around me in general to actually start changing up for the better. And that's just how that is, right? So I suppose, I guess that's really what I wanted to bring up when it comes down to this, right? Again, these live videos are really rants and a lot of stuff like that, but it lets me get out what I need to say, and also at the same time voice my concerns and like emotions and things like that to a place where it's like, okay, at least if I say it here, I don't have to go off on somebody or try to restrain it and hold it in myself for a long period of time. That causes stress. So that's nice to do this, I guess, but still I don't like doing these sort of videos. But it is what it is when it comes down to it. And I guess one last thing I could say, and I'll try to wrap it up quickly, is that why I very much is hell-bent on this journey to kind of go ahead and do this stuff. There's a lot of reasons, but one reason I remember is because in 2019, I remember with a friend at the time, I went to Tennessee with to Pigeon Forge with, and during spring break. And I'm not gonna lie, being in that cabin in the morning, going to the balcony and stuff like that, seeing the beautiful views of the mountains and just seeing how beautiful everything was in that area of that cabin where we was, and how comfortable the beds were, no insects, no roaches, no regular nonsense that I always usually were to deal with. That was like the best damn like mini vacation I've been on ever. In fact, I would argue that whole week was like the best week I ever really had, ever. And I'm like, and I remember specifically I made a promise that I would see a view like that, or even better than that at some point in time. I don't know how, but I will see a view like that. And I really can't describe that view. It was just pretty. It was just beautiful. And I want to see another view like that, right? And then also at that night too, which is crazy, but there was like, I also found out we had a jacuzzi in that cabin, and I'm not gonna sit here and lie. Me and the boys at the time, we got in that jacuzzi at that night, and I never felt so damn relaxed in my entire life. I never felt so relaxed in my entire life at that point. It was so amazing. I was like, bitch, this is what a jacuzzi is? This is what one feels like? Hanging with the boys? This shit's peak. I gotta get me one. And that's another thing too. I know for damn sure, if I get a place of my own, for sure, I'm getting a jacuzzi, and we're doing a jacuzzi video at some point in time, because damn it, that jacuzzi felt great. It was peak. But that was a really good time. That whole trip was, really that whole week was, because that was also the first time I went to an anime convention, and I was just surprised at how much how many different cosplayers existed and how much they existed down where I live. So my whole point is, though, I want to see those sites again. I want to reach that level of just feeling like nothing is pressing on me, nothing really in depth matters that hard in terms of like troubles. I want to feel that again. I don't even know what that feels like at this point because it's been so dang long, right? And so much has happened. So I do want to, selfishly, I do want to see those views again and see stuff like that again. Climb up the Rocky Mountain again up in Tennessee. That shit was lit. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. It was crazy. It was the craziest hike I ever done, but it was so cool. And forever to this day, I will still always be grateful to that person that invited me with his family to go. But it was still something I really want to see again, right? And do more things than just do that. Obviously, I would like to travel to different countries if I can and just see the sights there and do, like, obviously a lot of basic bitch tourism stuff, but that's just how it is, right? So that's, I guess that's really like more of the selfish part of me when it comes down to this channel of what I hope to accomplish, I hope to do. But yeah, I just want better. And I feel like after all this time, for sure, I don't deserve better, but I have earned that right to get to a better place, right? So that's just how I feel. But one step at a time, one responsibility at a time, for sure. And that's just something I also recognize and know. So I don't want to necessarily go into that sort of space of mindset of that before I know a lot of other things that needs to be taken care of is handled first. So I guess with all that being said, if you do have anything, or if you're waiting for the first of the month or whatever, if you do have anything that you would like to give to the Kofi to help me out survive and my family as well, then please do hit up that link when it comes down to it in the comments and in the description and stuff like that. Cash App is also there too, in case you just decide to want to do it that way too. Because again, life shouldn't be just about being in a suffering hellhole all this time. It should also be about fun shit too. It should be. It should be about, actually getting a moment to breathe without something negative happening every 5 minutes, it feels like. And that's just how it is. Or somebody constantly going at, or at least not going at you, but like constantly talking about something that they desperately need all the flipping time. It's so annoying. It really is. And that's not the type of energy I want to keep carrying with this channel and just keep sharing with these videos. And even with these life updates, even if I were to do another life update or something like that, I would like you to be more happier and be like, hey, there's some cool shit I'm doing. There's some things over here. There's some things like that. Because not every single one of these videos should be something negative and stuff like that, right? It just is what it is when it comes down to it. Very much just in the mess of it, but just gotta do what I gotta do and try to fight as hard as I can on some Clive Rossfield type beat from FF16. Trying to beat off Ultima and beat myself off to Jill. That just how it is. Jill, throw that ass back. I must do this. Because if you don't throw that ass back on Shiva's name, I will be mad. And I will slap you like Joshua Shield. What is happening? You get the dang point. I'm being crazy, but that's just how it is though. But hopefully still you did enjoy. If you did, be sure to like, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification on your way out. Also on the socials. And again, if you'd like to help me out, donate to the channel. Links in the description and the comments. And until then, it's Boy J, sign off. Have a blessed day.